Alright, so this is going to be a review of the Amazon Paperwhite third generation, the most popular of the Kindles. Amazon says anyway. I'll take them on their word on that because they don't have confirmation. But this is a refurbished unit. You can get these for about $100. And there it is. They come in a nice brown box. That's about all you see there. Not very fancy. And you pull the little tab on the bottom here. There we go. Sticky. And you open that like so, and look, there it is. Looks exactly like the the standard Kindle. It doesn't come with a charger. We all know that by now. No charger in there, just a micro USB cable. So there it is, the Kindle Paperwhite third generation. You can see it there, still in its wee bag. And we'll go ahead and open it up there a wee bit. Now, first things first. You may be wanting to know the comparison to the standard Kindle, the non-Paperwhite. I do notice it is a wee bit heavier, I have to say. You can feel it's a bit more heft. And also the back of it, let's see if we can get that into focus there. The back of it feels, it's a little more beveled on the edge, whereas I found the standard Kindle to be like flat, sorts of like an iPhone 4. And this is more like an iPhone 3G, if you remember those from back in the day. So, right, let's put the power button on the bottom there. Once again, this they do tend to size down all the controls on these. There's no buttons along the top, no buttons along the side, no buttons along that side either. None on the front, none on the back, and just one on the bottom. And the charging, micro USB charging port. You gotta focus there, you stupid camera, focus. There we go. So just the micro USB charging port and the power button. So I'll push that. And nothing is happening. Oh, there it goes. It's starting up. Okay, first impressions. I will say that this does seem to be, the background color does seem to be a lot whiter than the standard Kindle. The standard Kindle is a wee bit grey. This definitely looks whiter, maybe a wee bit more contrast. And this is also supposed to be better resolution than the standard Kindle, which is, I think the standard Kindle is around 150 perhaps dots per inch, and this is 300, so quite a bit, double the resolution there. So we'll see if we zoom in. Let's see how sharp this is. We focus there. I got focus there. Yeah, and I have to say that text does actually look pretty sharp, I must say. And of course, as you can see here, the big difference from the standard Kindle is the backlighting. And I have to say this is a huge change from the original one. It makes the screen seem very, very, very clear, as opposed to the standard non-lit Kindle, where you kind of like putting it into the sun. You see there's the sunlight coming in from the side, catching the edge there, and you don't need it at all. It really has a nice glow to it. And of course this is touchscreen, so we'll go ahead and push that. And it is on. We'll push next. Okay. You got the damn crows out there. They're calling up a storm. Can you hear that? Alright, now it's booting. And while it's booting, let me show you this just as a basis of comparison. This is a, so there it is, 300 dots per inch, or pixels per inch as they say. A weak battery life, built-in light, the good stuff. As a basis of comparison, this is a Nexus 6, which is a 6-inch phone. You're all familiar with that. The new one, I believe, is 5.7. This is actually a 6-inch, and this is a 6-inch Kindle. They no longer sell the large one. About 4 years ago, they discontinued the Kindle DX, which I believe was in the 9-inch range. So they're all this size, which is 6 inches. The same as the Kindle, but obviously a different aspect ratio. This is more like a book, and this is 16 by 9, like almost all cell phones are. Video style, more video style. And as a basis of comparison to more what a Kindle might be used to, here is a book. A standard Paperwhite, or a standard paperback book. I just grabbed off my shelf over there to give you a size comparison. So it is quite close. I must say. So there, give you an idea, of course, a lot thinner on the Kindle. The Kindle definitely a wee bit thinner. And in terms of weight, I say honestly they're about equal. So the difference is this has, 4 gigabytes of memory, 3 gigabytes usable. You put hundreds of books on there. This is one book for the same weight, so that's kind of nice. So let's go ahead and get started. And then you have to connect to your Wi-Fi. So it did come pre-charged, which is nice. So we'll do that. Blah, blah, blah. Let me put my code in here real fast. Okay, so put in my code, and now it's connecting. And it connecting to Amazon. And now it wants me to register it. There it goes. It's snappy. It's interesting because the Kindle has obviously an e-ink display as opposed to almost all phones that have LCDs or OLEDs. And the difference is this is easier on your eyes, and this actually doesn't need power. It only needs power when it refreshes. This is refreshing. A standard phone screen will refresh, 60 times a second or whatever. So that's the difference there, and this is supposed to be easier on your eyes, which is why they use the e-paper display. And there it has. So look, it's actually already set up. So Amazon put my account information into this before they sent it. Quite nice to keep that nice and easy. I didn't put anything in there, it already had that. And here you can link it to your Facebook account, or your Twitter, if you want to share your books and show everyone, the great things that you're reading, let them know you're a bit of a bookworm, you're an intellectual, as it may be. We won't do that now. That's another thing where you can share your books and let everyone know how great you are there. It keeps you up at night if you got your 50 Shades of Grey going there. Skip that. And as I mentioned before, the nice thing with the Kindle, and I think why these are popular, is you can make the text large. If you have trouble reading like a standard paperback book, if you're old, your mum or your granny, this can get a wee bit small after a while, and it adds to the fatigue that it's kind of dark. You see that? Whereas this clearly is much, much more easily readable, and you can make the text larger for old folks. Navigating, blah blah blah. We know that. Blah blah blah. Blah. Keep going, showing you how it's all done, and there it goes. Personalize. I will do that later. And so now it's loading, and there we are. And so here's one of the most important things. We'll just open up the guide here. And this is why I think Kindles are fundamentally better than books. It's because you can change the size of the text. So if you click up here, you can bring up the text options, and then you can make it, come on now, you can make it bigger. And you can make it huge if you want. So if you're giving it to your 105-year-old granny there, you can put the text up to super large, and go back, and and you can see there anyone can read that. Oh, welcome to, okay, look at that, and there we go. And actually, the first time I saw a Kindle, it was a funny story. A place I used to work, there was an old lady, and she did the accounting there. She must have been like 90 years old. Ruthie was her name, and she had a Kindle, and she was reading 50 Shades of Grey right there in the office with everyone right in front of her. And so she had it on maximum size because obviously she was 90. And so it said, Mr. Grey pulled down her skirt and went to the next page. And see, it's supposed to change. Oh, and it was so sexy. And I turned to Ruthie. I said, Ruthie, what are you doing reading that right in front of everybody? And I can read that across the room. That's text as large as a billboard there. Anyway, funny story. So that's one of the nice benefits of the Kindle. As you know, with the touchscreen, you push right to go right, you push left to go left, as opposed to the old Kindles that had controls along the bottom, left and right. And then you can select words, and it should bring up a menu. There we go, and it'll give you a description of the word, whatever it is, in case it's something, a word you don't know. Let's see if we can find something. Setting up, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Let's see. What's the definition of connect? Let's have a look at that. Look at that. Oh, to bring together or into contact so that a real or notional link is established. Notional. Oh, that's a strange word right there. So kind of a nice thing with the Kindle. It gives you the extra functionality, and then you can do a search for the word. If, for instance, you don't know what something means, or a sentence or a paragraph, you can do the search. Kind of nice integrated information there. And then touching on the top brings up the menu for basically the Kindle menu for home, back, the settings, all that stuff, the store. And then, like I showed you before, the text settings, which is important if you're giving this to an elderly family member. Put that back down to normal size there. And there it is. We'll close that. There we go. Let's see, we'll go back home. And I'll just show you real quickly. We'll go home. And we will... Let me show you... what is it? Let me show you the browser real fast. I find this interesting. So it actually has a built-in browser. And if you have 3G, the 3G version, this is just the Wi-Fi version, you can actually search Amazon and Wikipedia with the built-in free 3G connection. And the rest are available when you're on Wi-Fi like now. But it's interesting just to get an idea of how you can read websites on here. It's kind of slow, it doesn't work too well, but it is interesting to get, you know, just a quick idea of what's going on out there. We'll take a look at that. Oh, let's see, begging for war, oh, it's always war, war, war. All that good stuff. And then I believe you can, I'll put in article mode, so you press on the three buttons, then article mode, and it should change this to a more easily readable format for the Kindle, which is taking a while to do. There it goes. Alright, so you know how the Kindle works. I'm sure you're familiar with all the functions on there and all that good stuff by now. So I will go ahead and bid you farewell, enjoy your reading, and have a nice day.